instead of boring you with the facts about why PR is essential to marketing, I'd start by saying that PR is extremely intuitive. That's because PR essentially comes down to storytelling, and storytelling is our oldest, most enjoyed form of communication and entertainment as a species, I would say. Now, unlike traditional advertising, which is a bit direct and aggressive in talking about the product or service, what PR allows you to do is be a little more strategic and nuanced. And that's amazing for us, especially in the healthcare sector, because rather than just building our brand visibility and awareness, it helps us establish a degree of trust and credibility. And that's because most of our endorsements, when you go through PR, come through a third party. It also helps us, establish relationships that may directly or indirectly benefit the business in the long run. It helps, establish ourselves as thought leaders in a sector where there's so much innovation taking place. And it also really helps our sales function if we're able to, provide them with things like case studies and white papers. Because when they go into the healthcare institutions and speak to, the key decision makers, they can see tangible benefits of using our product as well as the credibility that we've built up. So my role at Augnito is essentially about managing and facilitating effective communication. Now, whether that's within the organization or externally, the role may vary depending on the kind of industry you're in, but what it would generally entail is primary content creation, which is like your website and your blogs. Then there would be PR and media handling, which is like any press features, print or digital. That'd be social media activities, podcast appearances, and then also collaterals and supporting other functions, so like your newsletters, sales support manuals, user manuals, things like that. Fundamentally, what I need to do is ensure that we have consistent, high quality messaging across all our channels, and that it all aligns with our brand tone of voice and ethos. At Augnito, I also help, some of our colleagues in key roles with their own professional branding and media appearances, like the founder, CEO, for example, because it's very critical to build their reputation as thought leaders, especially when we're trying to secure outside investment. So it adds to their credibility and trust as well. And finally, I also work with my colleagues in brand and performance marketing to, create the entire content strategy and then execute on it. Creating content strategy is not something that can be done in isolation. So apart from, working with my colleagues in brand and performance marketing, we also need to determine what the overarching goal of the business is for that quarter, what the objectives of other functions like sales are, and then tailor the strategy accordingly. Now, some things that we obviously consider each time are, product upgrades. Have there been any new launches, any new partnerships? Any industry news that's extremely relevant, what the sentiment is right now. But the other thing that's really, really important for us is because we operate in a few different markets. So like India, the Middle East, UK, and the USA. So our messaging has to be slightly different for each region because of, firstly, the problem that we're solving for each region might be slightly different. And also, what resonates with the audience over there and what their current sentiment in the market is plays a key role. So this is a great question, and the reason why I'm smiling is because it's been a slight pain point for, marketing people, especially in such a heavily data-driven, tech environment. Because, of course, apart from the obvious, performance metrics that we can measure, there are things like brand awareness, which are very, very hard to, quantify. But that being said, I would categorize our metrics and KPIs under a few, main headings. So the first would be earned media mentions. So that's like the number of PR pieces, the number of thought leadership pieces, both paid and unpaid, that we appear in. There would be digital engagement metrics, so like our website traffic, social media engagement numbers, and email open rates, click-through rates, things like that. There would be content effectiveness metrics, which are like, your content shares and backlinks, the page views and engagements. And then there would also be sentiment analysis. Now, this is the one that's a little hard to quantify, but it's basically what the overarching, attitude towards your product is in the market. Finally, we could also track, things like ROI on some of the activities that we do, paid media or social media influencer activities. There are several ways to stay updated, and one doesn't really need to go out of their way in today's hyper-connected world. Any form of media or digital media that you're consuming, say your podcasts, your newsletters, your social media, your news industry aggregators, all of them contribute to your knowledge bank. Now, for our industry specifically, what I do is I subscribe to a lot of health tech and AI newsletters and content creators, and obviously monitor what our competition across all geographies are doing very closely. The other thing is, in my short career so far, I've had very diverse experiences because I've worked with, design, art, architecture, luxury, commerce, lifestyle, and all of those have added to my resources. Now, you may think those are not applicable to an industry like health tech, but indirectly they are, because overarching trends stay consistent across industries. The other thing I want to place a huge emphasis on is that it's not always about staying up to date with the latest trends, because if you look at Augnito's own company ethos, for example, it places a lot of importance on human centricity and intuitiveness. Now, that you could say that that's only for the product that we're building, but it's something that I'd like to permeate across our departments and communications at Augnito, because in a world that's becoming overly digitized, and the rapid pace of innovation that's taking place can be a bit overwhelming. And I think we need to place our emphasis, or replace our emphasis on, ironically, just what it means to be human. So, the softer skills, the slower forms of communication, more mindful and thoughtful communication.